draft night with Bronny, and we have to talk about Bronny, obviously, have to. So, especially now with everything that's taking place.
But this was planned prior. You guys were off, so it's fine.
Bingo. We were supposed to, I think, like day after draft. It was like the first day we were back. You're almost on plane going to do it right after round 2, I think, like the day after round 2, but we weren't able to connect to the plane. So you need to figure out your Wi-Fi up there.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, we sold enough books, we've done enough shit. Okay, we should have a good Wi-Fi up there, but we were supposed to come on here and chat about this. The story of draft night was you were basically calling teams and saying he's going to go to Australia. Now, then we heard like other people say like, hey, this is a thing that does happen, like in the NBA, like, hey, this is a much better. How much of that is true, and what are those conversations whenever you're talking to teams on those types of emails?
No, I think the matter of fact thing is, you have relationships with people and you make the calls. They respect each other. They understand why, and they understand, what was at stake in this case. And so, there were several teams that had interest in Bronny, but you do have the calls and you talk about it, and they understand it. So that's just relationships throughout the league. The Australia thing, that is what it is. But in terms of just having real conversations with people that actually had real interest and, asking them or having a conversation of why you felt a certain way. And it goes both ways. Sometimes it go my way, sometimes it go their way. So we help each other in that regard.
Yeah, you represent more than just one person. So there's a lot of conversations potentially taking place. The Australia thing is what it is. Hysterical line. I just want to let you know that is a funny, I mean, he doesn't mind. It's a beautiful place. We've got a house already picked out.
Nice.
Not a problem at all. That is hysterical to think about those conversations taking place. Now where we're at here, a couple weeks removed for Bronny, and obviously the G League struggles are being chatted about, or the Summer League struggles are being chatted about by everybody, and the G League conversations taking place in a fully guaranteed contract. Did you obviously had conversations with people at the Lakers who we know you're very close with, and you felt as if they understood that this was going to be like a commitment, and like what Bronny is going to become is going to be much different than what he is right now. Is that the thoughts, or how do you feel about how it's all going with Bronny?
Look, I think all these guys are in development. Bronny's no different. He doesn't get to be excluded from having to develop. Obviously, I know he wants to make shots, and he will make shots. But again, it's just about building great habits. I think the opportunity for Bronny to play at the league level would be on the defensive end, and that's something that he's really good at now. The other components of the game he has to get better at, and he will. Look, Bronny's a passion player. He's playing the game of basketball because it's his passion. And so I don't look at Summer League as like the end-all, be-all, whether he was averaging 30 or whether he was averaging 3. I think you go into Summer League and you come out of Summer League with the understanding, okay, going into training camp, this is what's going to get me some type of, I would say...
opportunity.
An opportunity, but, hey, where am I kind of shining at? And where do they see me kind of having an opportunity? It's going to be, on the defensive end. And that's where he's probably the most developed today. The offensive stuff will come. Bronny has a great IQ. He has a great feel for the game. The shot will fall. We understand that. That's just about reps. And he's willing and committed to do that. And it's all about being committed. When you have perspective and you're committed, good things happen. And you can't really worry about, I saw some of the stuff that came out about Jaylen Brown and things like that. Like you can't take what everybody's opinion and try to turn it against him or think that he's a bad person or the young lady that was accompanying him was a bad person. No, they have opinions. They can say what they want to say. At least he is someone who's actually in the league. And so there's a lot of experts with no expertise. He's actually an expert with expertise. And so if he has that opinion, he can have that opinion. But I know Jaylen, and I know he doesn't mean that with any malice. He's just having a conversation. And it's just the world we live in today. Why would he think somebody would be videoing him saying anything? And so, but Bronny's going to keep his head down and continue to work, use things as fuel, but continue to be passionate about the game of basketball because that's a true thing. And it goes for all the guys in Summer League, right? We see guys get drafted. We see guys, get contracts and then don't ever get another one. The NBA is a roller coaster, and you just got to continue to put the work in every day and get better. And I'm sure Bronny will do that. He'll be committed to do that. And then let's look back on the end of the movie. They don't run the credits at the beginning of the movie. They run it at the end. And so we'll continue to work towards that path. And so I'm excited for what's coming with Bronny. And yes, as far as guaranteed contracts, that was the thing. I didn't want him to be on the two-way or things like that. No offense to two-way contracts. It's just they're all different scenarios. And in this case scenario, it was just something that we were able to work out and get done. And so that's a good thing.
The Lakers have seen LeBron James, and that answer was phenomenal. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah.
That was so cool just to hear you go into explaining and answering everything that has basically been said about Bronny on the internet over the last couple of weeks in one answer right there. Just
Jalen put out another tweet too.
Yeah, and he said, "Hey, listen, yeah, got respect."
And
I know Jaden. Jaden's a good guy, so we're not gonna spend too much time on that.
Yeah, they said that you sent 10 Escalades to his house.
Yeah,
yeah.
Tweet.
We can send it. We did the whole entire thing, but you answering all those questions for Bronny is incredibly cool. There, I think, as a guy that is representing him and looking out for his future business standpoint, and LeBron has told us that Bronny blocks out all that stuff and all the noise and everything. But I think for us, getting to see footage of how LeBron James is acting at Team USA practice, I would assume that the Lakers have faith that Bronny is going to maybe be able to figure out how to be an NBA player.
Yeah.
So you and them having that conversation, it's like, I assume that's an easier decision to be made. And because he is LeBron James' son, there is going to be some exemptions, I think, and some potential thoughts that, we've seen his guy's dad do his thing here. We assume he'll be able to work. Is that a part of the conversation? Do you think that is kind of how and why these things come together? Because why is everybody talking about how if this wasn't LeBron's kid, this wouldn't be happening? No shit. We're talking about this is, you know what I mean? Like, no, isn't that just kind of expected in this entire thing? And why does everybody think that's a big deal?
Yeah, but I kind of, I agree and I kind of disagree with that, right? In terms of, he has to James. Look, this is Jeannie decided that she's making this call, and she's been able to see Bronny in all aspects, not only from a basketball perspective, but also from a character perspective. And he has everything that aligns with the Laker brand. And so you have to make that type of call,
That's awesome.
And so at the end of the day, we're not going to spend too much time on that. Bronny has to work his way, and he will.
Okay, that's awesome to hear. D-Bud has a question for you about, okay, hold on. We got business going right now.
Uh-oh.
We got business going right now.
No.
Who's signing?
We're good.
What deal? Just hold on.
who's signing?
So we need to scour the internet right now. Who is potentially in the middle of a conversation? What if this is happening right now? This would be dope.
Laurie marketing to the Warriors.
Yeah, we got any moves, any trades taking place? Team USA, are we feeling better than ever? We only won
I
by
don't
6.
know. I think for the thing about Team USA, we gotta give them. We gotta, number one, not put so much into they didn't blow this team out. The world is caught up. It's not 1992. Okay. The world is caught up. If you look at our league.
We got to beat Australia by more than 6. We got to. We got to do that. Listen, a win is a win, whether it's by 1 or 1,001. Win is a win.
Yeah, but one is more fun.
It's not going to be easy. The team's going to compete. There's a lot of good players around the world. And so, you have to gel together. You got a lot of guys that have never played together. You got lineups. You're trying to see what work, what don't work. What gets us off to a great start. What's our closing lineups? Guys who are known to be able to come down and take a heat check or whatnot on their respective teams. They can't do that on Team USA. And so it's a very it's a different thing. So we're still learning right now, huh? We're still figuring out how to play ball together. That's what's kind of Just figuring out how to play basketball, but trying to figure out how to play together. There's a chemistry that comes with the game of basketball. There's a selflessness that comes with the game of basketball. There's matchups. There's a lot of things, and so it'll get there. Don't these are the greatest players in the world. So I think they'll figure it out. Okay, good news. And we're only saying and asking these questions for 1,000% selfish reasons.
Sure. Yep.
We want to be so obnoxious during the Olympics. I mean, that is our entire game plan. Yeah. And we can't thank you enough for the information that we're going to be just fine. Mm-hmm. We are going to be just fine.
We know it.
They're going to be figuring it out. Some people, we can't just be pulling up from the logo all the time. Okay, how about it? Because another guy on our team pulls up from the logo as well.
Exactly.
On his team. And there's another guy who nobody on his team is pulling up from the logo because he's on the court. So we need to figure out how to figure this out. And they're going to do that. We're going to be able to be obnoxious. I love it. Mm-hmm. Let's go to New York now instead of Team USA. D-Bud has a question for you. In your world, I think.
Yeah, Rich, there was some rumors about LeBron possibly taking a pay cut for another star to come to L.A. And then we saw Jalen Brunson sign his deal. And I know, in NFL, the union, we hate when players take team-friendly deals, home team discounts, whatever it may be. Big-time player like this in his prime takes a deal like that. How does, I guess, the agents feel about this? Or are you guys kind of in completely different silos when it comes to each individual player in their situations? Yeah, I mean, look, obviously it's not ideal, but Jaden's a smart kid and a smart young man. He's obviously his dad is there, and I'm sure they had conversations and
conversation that made sense. And so I try to stay in my lane as it pertains to my business, but ultimately, you know, throughout my course of my career as representation, you know, you try to advise as best you can. And again, you know, there's different components. I don't know what all components lie within his situation to make him make that decision, but obviously I do know him and I know his dad, and he's a pretty smart kid. So again, have to wait and let the movie play out and see where it goes.
Yeah, they said something about a bigger deal in 4 years, like $400 million or something like that. That NBA shit's wild. Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, they can play a little differently. Football, you can't really look. Yeah, 3 years, I can sign. You know, it's different.
Dude,
NBA is different. So you got opportunity that's best for guys, and guys have to make decisions best for them. Sometimes you take a little less for a better opportunity. Sometimes you take a little less for the team to be better. You know,
is that going to happen in LA? That was a rumor there for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it can't happen now. So yeah, I mean, it was something that we looked at, but you know, nothing could actually get done, and so that's okay. So you know, come with what you have and try to pivot. So we'll see.